talking about these treaty rights, these belts, and kind of how they affect us back then, and how we acknowledge them today. We go back to always go back to the Dish with One Spoon and our two-row wampum, because it speaks about, and also the Treaty of Niagara, because we're talking about our inherent rights that go back to the Royal Proclamation in 1763. And do we honor these rights today? Do we still hold those treaty rights in the eyes of the Crown? Yeah, we do. We actually we still have those rights, like our treaty rights, like of education, hunting, where we live, how we conduct ceremony, and which is really funny, because if the government recognizes all of those rights, why aren't the government actually realizing that these agreements here are still in place to going back to 1700s? If they can recognize us having those rights today, they should honor these belts that we have in front of us here. So these rights here, it gives us the ability to hunt and fish in our treaty territory. And I'm fine with that, because our treaty territory, it goes all the way from the southern point of Lake Erie all the way up to Owen Sound and straight across Ontario. So that's a really good amount of hunting territory. But it's a government, and that's the thing. If the government issues that, if they recognize that, then they should be able to recognize these things, because to us as Anishinaabe, these belts, when we hold these belts, it's not just about an agreement. It's about acknowledging the land that we live on. We never said that we own the land, but we're caregivers of the land. And when we say caregivers of the land, that means the waters, the land itself, and all the animals that come with it. So we take care of everything that has to do with that. And we have an agreement with our own people based on the One Dish One Spoon. So we're always taking care of that, and we recognize that we need water, and water is life. And we recognize that if we take care of our waters, the water goes up and comes back down, and it takes care of our plants and our trees and our medicines and our animals. And it's that cycle of life that we think about, not just the cycle of life that is a part of ourselves, but the cycle of life of all of our existence. Much.